Good morning. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about something I've seen a lot lately working at the airport. A lot of young kids come through and have shirts on. It says, God is dope. You know, sad for them. Unfortunately, that's the way they see God. Anyway, actually, God is hope. And they don't get that, apparently, because they have a false idea about who God is. Uh, but actually, God is hope, and people are looking for hope. And if they don't find God as hope, then they don't know the real God. They don't see Him as He really is. Um, Long story short, you have to realize that God is real, and a lot of people like Lee Strobel and Josh McDowell, they tried to prove that he was wrong, and they, in their process of research, you know, opposed to what they wanted to find, found that he was real. God is real. And history proves that in so many ways that we won't get into on this. But God is real. There's so much proof that He is. The God of the universe, the God that created us. Uh, I could tell you my personal experience, but I won't do that again right now. But He is real. I got to talking to somebody that I work with that didn't believe in prayer. I told him I'd pray for his dad. He said, well, I don't really believe in talking to the sky and such as that. Uh, so I'm going to bring this down to elementary ideas. So maybe you can grasp it if you're out there thinking, I want to believe in something. People resort to all kinds of things. We've all done it, that we think is going to make us happy or give us hope or numb the pain, for example. Drugs or buying things, um, alcohol. There's all kinds of things that numb the pain, number one, of what we're feeling, and number two, of the fear or the reality of I'm having a life without hope. There's no hope. There's no hope. Uh, Somebody told me yesterday, I was talking about the fact that uh, why does God allow bad things to happen to good people, et cetera, et cetera? And then they get all bent out of shape and mad at God and rebel. Uh, God created this earth to be a perfect place. It was the Garden of Eden in the beginning. Uh, Life was perfect. There was no sin, no evil. But the devil exists, and Adam and Eve chose to disobey what God said. You can do anything in this garden you want, but don't eat from this one tree. And that's what they do. They listen to the lies of the devil. Anyway, long story short, sin entered the world. And when sin entered the world, things were imperfect because the devil is the prince of this world. And so anyway, God never said that this world would be perfect, only the next. So uh, anyway, I told this friend of mine at work, you see that airplane out there? I work at the airport. The airplane has a cockpit in the front of it, not the back. The wheels are on the bottom of it, not on the top. Basically, you can look at that airplane and tell that it had a creator. Some intelligent mindset was involved creating that airplane. And he agreed. He said, yeah, absolutely. And I said, look at your body. Your body, your eyes are in the front of your face, not the back of your head. Your mouth is not at the bottom of your feet. And your nose is not, on your elbow. Things in your body can re-heal themselves. They can, some of your organs can recreate, their tissue. So if you look at creation, especially the human body, it's without doubt that there was an intelligent creator. So now that we've created that foundation, that we are created by a God who is intelligent, who loves us, I'm going to throw you off a little bit here and say that I can prove God exists just by looking at how Christianity is attacked. You know, you don't see people mocking or making fun of Buddhists or Hindus, other gods like that. People don't make fun of it. They respect it. They don't make fun of it. If you look at how the media and comedians make fun of religion, it's about Christians. So why is that? You know, could it possibly be because the devil only sees Christianity as a real threat? He doesn't see the others as a threat because they're not real. They're not the real threat. So I just wanted to start this thing out and say that God is not dope. God is hope. He's the only hope we have. He may not be the God that your parents showed you. Maybe you had religion, and that's another term I want to address. Maybe you had religion shoved down your throat, and you think that you got burnt out with it, or you just got a bad taste in your mouth about it. Religion's not where it's at. It's about a personal relationship with Jesus, you know, and it's not about suits and ties and stained glass windows and pews and songs that were written 200 years ago. A relationship with God and our salvation and our happiness and joy and peace and contentment that we can experience regardless of the storm we go through is not based on any of that stuff whatsoever. Anyway, I've got a good friend that I work with that grew up, and I think in a home that was where religion was kind of forced on him, and he kind of seems to have a bad taste in his mouth from that. But he kind of encouraged me to make this channel, and if anybody gains anything from this at all, then it's worthwhile. I'm no speaker by any means, but I'm just talking. God is real. There's so much proof. People who've tried to prove it wrong actually took time to spend time, unlike most people, come to find out that God exists. There's so much evidence, and there's so much evidence that's covered up that people don't want you to hear about. Because why is that? If we prove that God is real, then what he said we'll have to accept. And what did he say? Well, he made rules for life, rules for sex and marriage. You know, basically he said, don't have sex before marriage. Who does that? He also said, just marry one person, and you can't have multiple wives or multiple husbands. You know, he's got rules such as don't commit adultery. In other words, don't cheat on your wife or your husband. There's reasons behind that. But people want to see God as making all these rules, you know, making them miserable in their life, but really he's looking out for us. Think, if you will, of traffic laws that we, for the most part, 90% of us don't have a problem with. What if there were no stripes on the road? What if you could drive on the right or the left? What kind of chaos would that create? Would you like that? No. We accept those laws because that keeps order. If there were no stop signs or no traffic lights, just imagine how crazy that would be. But yet we don't have any problem accepting society's rules that protect us. But yet when it comes to God, we don't want him telling us what to do. It's funny that when you buy a product, we don't have any problems following the manufacturer's instructions on how to keep it working properly. But God made us, and the only reason he gave us these rules and regulations is because he loves us and he wants the best for us and wants to take care of us. So anyway, I'm rambling on, but just know, regardless of what you have been taught about God, what you think you know about God, he is real. He does change lives. if I continue to do this, I will share with you a specific example of how he intervened in their lives and brought my wife back from death, basically. She had only 20% chance of survival. Her heart stopped. Anyway, it's an interesting story. But God is real. He only makes rules for our own good. He knows we're imperfect. He knows we're human. God does not expect us to clean our act up to get right with him. You wouldn't take a shower before you take a shower or before you take a bath. You come to him and he cleans you. He straightens you out. We have the impression that we have to be good in his eyes to be good in his eyes, and that's not the case. We come to him as we are, broken and sinful, and we allow him in to change us. But anyway, that's just some thoughts. Have a great week, and be blessed, and look and open your eyes and ears, and you will see God out there today. He is real. He will show you if you ask him to give you guidance and direction. And just wanted you to know he loves you. Have a great week. Help is coming.